once more. In tonight's video, I'll be doing an NBA 2023-2024 NBA season final standings prediction. So, we've got about 10 games left for every team to play, and there's 2.5 weeks left. As I record this video, it is the final moments of Thursday, March 28th. The last day of the NBA regular season will be Sunday, April 14th. So, with the time remaining, I'm going to go over every single matchup that is left to be played, let you know who I think is going to win and lose these matchups. Then I'm going to compile all of the wins and losses and add them to the current standings to come up with the new standings, the new records for every single team. And then I'm going to take a look at the tiebreakers between the teams to, give you my prediction of what I think when it's all said and done the NBA play-in tournament is going to look like and the NBA playoffs ultimately. So, buckle up because we're about to find out what the next 2.5 weeks of the NBA season could look like. So, this actually took quite some time. I had to obviously first look up every game, then I had to come up with my winners and losers, and then I had to do a couple checks and balances, just because I didn't want to compile everything and then be like, wow, I picked this team to win it 0 times across all 10 games. I did not do that, but I just did a little bit of checking, and then I had to add them up and make sure I was adding correctly. So this could take a while, but starting off with the day that just passed, we have Thursday, March 28th. There are only 2 games on this day, and they've already both passed. So rather than a prediction, I'm just going to tell you what happened. You had the Celtics visiting the Atlanta Hawks, and the Hawks won that game. And then you had the Bucks visiting the Pelicans, and the Pelicans won that game. So right off the bat, we're gonna have the Atlanta Hawks and the New Orleans Pelicans get a win added to their columns. Oh, I guess this is a good place to start, actually. Let me go over the current standings in the NBA, so you have an idea of how teams are doing right now, and then you can compare it to the final standings. So, in the Eastern Conference, as of yesterday, you have the number 1 seeded Boston Celtics at a record of 57-15. Then you've got the number 2 seeded Milwaukee Bucks at a record of 46-26. At number 3, you have the New York Knicks at a record of 44-28. At number 4, you have the Cleveland Cavaliers at a record of 44-29. Then at number 5, you've got the Orlando Magic at a record of 42-30. At number 6, you've got the Indiana Pacers at a record of 41-33. At number 7, you've got the Miami Heat at a record of 39-33. Coming in at number 8 are the Philadelphia 76ers at a record of 39-34. In 9th place, you have the Chicago Bulls at a record of 35-38. You'll notice that is a losing record. Everyone onwards from the 8th seed in the East has a losing record. After that, you've got the number 10 seeded Atlanta Hawks, who are sitting at 33-39. Then you've got the number 11 seeded Brooklyn Nets at a record of 28-45. At number 12, you've got the Toronto Raptors at a record of 23-50. Number 13 is the Charlotte Hornets at a record of 18-54. let's get into it. In the 1 seed, you've got the Denver Nuggets, the reigning champions, at 51-22. At number 2, you've got the Minnesota Timberwolves at 50-22. At number 3, you've got the Oklahoma City Thunder at 50-22. At number 4, you've got the Los Angeles Clippers at 45-27. Then at number 5, you've got the New Orleans Pelicans at 44-28. At number 6, you've got the Dallas Mavericks at 43-29. At number 7, you've got the Phoenix Suns clocking in at 43-30. In 8th place, you've got the Sacramento Kings at a record of 42-30. In 9th place, you have the Los Angeles Lakers at a record of 41-32. At number 10, you've got the Golden State Warriors at a record of 38-34. In 11th place, you have the Houston Rockets at a record of 37-35. Now, unlike the Eastern Conference, you'll notice that the top 11 seeds in the Western Conference all have a positive record. So, that kind of shows two things. Number 1, the absolute runaway lead that the Boston Celtics have over the rest of that conference. So it is more top heavy. Like, the Celtics are definitely much better than the rest of the pack. But also, that's a lot of alsos. In addition, it shows that the West is more close and more competitive this year. You've got a lot of teams really fighting for similar spots, even though teams are in 9th and 10th place. Really looking at it, their seeding isn't the worst. Or not their seeding, their record isn't the worst. Like, let's take the Kings for example. They're at 42-30, but they are solidly in 8th place. If you took them and put them in the East, they would be 5th, basically 6th maybe. And if you looked at them last year, they would be much ahead of where they are right now. So, the competition in the West this year has been fierce. But, getting back into it, at number 12, you've got the Utah Jazz at 29-44. At number 13, you've got the Memphis Grizzlies at 24-49. At number 14, you've got the Portland Trailblazers at 19-54. And finally, at number 15, you've got the San Antonio Spurs at a record of 17-56. It's been a while since I've done this. I feel a little more out of breath than usual. I also realize that could be due to altitude. Yeah, I don't know if I've mentioned this. Maybe I'm giving up too much, but I do live kind of close to the Denver area, at least when I'm not in college. So, I go to school in California, and I come back home to Denver-ish, and the change in elevation is about a mile. It's like 6,000 feet. So, when I go up the stairs or record a video or anything of the sort, I am significantly more winded because there's just some acclimatation that needs to be done. But yeah, those are all the records. I already mentioned Thursday, March 28th. So now let's get into the predictions. I will try and do this as rapid fire as possible, just because why not, you know? Why drag this on for longer than it needs to be? So, starting off with Friday, March 29th, we've got the Clippers traveling to Orlando to play against the Magic. I have the Magic winning that matchup. Suns traveling to Washington to play against the Wizards. I've got the Wizards winning that game. Then you have the Los Angeles Lakers traveling to Indiana to play against the Pacers. I have the Lakers winning that. Then you've got the Warriors traveling to Charlotte to play against the Hornets. I have the Warriors winning that game. Then there are the Chicago Bulls traveling to Brooklyn to play against the Nets. I have the Bulls winning. Then you've got the 76ers playing against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I have the Cavs winning that matchup. Embiid might be back somewhat soon, so I do have a lot more 76ers wins projected after this game, but I don't think he'll suit up for the Friday matchup, and even if he does, I think it might take one game to recover, shake the rust off, but yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. Then there are the Phoenix Suns traveling to Oklahoma City to play against the Thunder, and I have the Thunder winning that matchup. You've got then the Portland Trailblazers going to Miami to play against the Heat. I have the Heat winning that. Then you've got the New York Knicks traveling to San Antonio to play against the Spurs. I have the Knicks winning that matchup. Then you have the Minnesota Timberwolves traveling to Denver to play against the Nuggets. I actually have the Timberwolves winning this game. Just because I think that they're going to win it. Then I've got the Rockets beating the Jazz on the road. And finally, I've got the Dallas Mavericks also beating the Sacramento Kings on the road. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to do this more efficiently. Maybe not. Okay, so after that, we will move into Saturday, March 30th. So, in this day, we've got 3 games. The Celtics are visiting the Pelicans. I've got the Celtics winning that. The Grizzlies are visiting the Magic. I have the Magic winning that. And the Bucks are visiting the Atlanta Hawks. And I have the Bucks winning that match. So that wraps that up. On Sunday, March 31st, you've got the Cavaliers visiting the Nuggets. I'm predicting a Nuggets win. Then you have the Clippers visiting the Hornets. Give me the Clippers. After that, you have the 76ers visiting Toronto to play against the Raptors. I have Embiid coming back by then, so 76ers win. Then you've got the Heat versus the Wizards in Washington. For some reason, I think that this will be an upset. I think that the Wizards will win this game. Why, you ask? I feel like the Wizards have won a decent number recently, and this is just like a strange game for them to win. Yeah. Then I've got the Lakers beating the Nets on the road. The Bulls and Timberwolves facing off in Minnesota. I have the Timberwolves winning that. Then the Mavs and the Rockets will face off. Very interesting tidbit I learned earlier today. I don't know if you follow Texas news, but not too long ago, Texas banned a popular site on the internet. You could use it to watch adult videos. Pornhub was the name of the site. So yeah, they recently banned it in all of Texas, and apparently since banning it, every Texas team has gone undefeated. The Rockets have not lost a game, the Mavericks have not lost a game, and even the Dallas hockey team has not lost a game. So I guess all the athletes are locked in and focused after this, banning. But unfortunately, one team is going to have to suffer a they've been on an absolute tear in March. I think that the Rockets are going to take that game. Then you've got the Warriors versus the Spurs in San Antonio. I think the Warriors win it. You have the Thunder facing off against the Knicks in New York. Give me the Knicks. I like them at home. You know, pretty nice team, I will say. And they just got Mitchell Robinson back. I feel like the Thunder have suffered some losses recently. I'll take the Knicks. And finally, you have the Jazz versus the Kings in Sacramento. So, light the beam. I'm taking the Kings. Moving on to Monday, April 1st. 14 days left of basketball at this point. First up, you've got the Blazers visiting the Magic. Give me the Magic. You've got the Celtics visiting the Hornets. I'll take the Celtics. Then you've got the Grizzlies visiting the Pistons. Marquee matchup here. I don't know how, but I think they will. I'm going to take the Pistons winning that game. Then you've got the Brooklyn Nets traveling to Indiana to face off against the Pacers. I like the Pacers odds. Give me the Pacers. Then the Atlanta Hawks traveling to Chicago to face off against the Bulls. I'll take the Bulls. And finally, the Phoenix Suns traveling to New Orleans to play against the Pelicans. And I have the Pelicans winning that game. By the way, one of the things I noticed, some teams have significantly harder schedules than other teams. I think it's the Suns. The Suns have a ridiculous schedule. Every single one of their remaining games is against a playoff team, basically. Playoff play-in caliber team. And then you have other teams like the 76ers, who I think they have a stretch where they play like the Grizzlies, the Spurs, and the Wizards, or something crazy like that. So, end of season, you're going to have varying levels of difficulties that these teams are approaching. So, whatever I end up predicting, obviously it's only like a 10-game sample size, but some teams you're going to find that I predict them to get a lot of wins, and some of them maybe I don't. Part of that is just difficulty of the opponents, but yeah. After that, let us move forward into Tuesday, April 2nd. First up, you've got the Bucks going to Washington to play against the Wizards. I'll take the Bucks. Then you've got the Lakers versus the Raptors. I'll take the visiting Lakers. Then you have the Knicks traveling to the Heat. I'll take the Heat in that one. Then you have the Oklahoma City Thunder going to Philly to play against the 76ers. I'll take the Thunder. After that, you've got the Rockets traveling to Minnesota to play against the Timberwolves. That is where I think the Rockets will end their streak. They have been on fire, absolutely. But you know, they were on fire in March. It will no longer be March. And the Timberwolves are really good. I know that the Thunder just beat the Rockets just beat the Thunder in overtime recently. So they can compete with the best of the best, but I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see them beating the Timberwolves, in my opinion. Then it's the Spurs visiting Denver to play against the Nuggets. I'll take the Nuggets. You've got the Cavs playing against the Jazz. I think the Cavs win that one. Then the Mavericks going to Golden State to play against the Warriors. Warriors aren't the best at home this season. I think the Mavs win that game. And then you've got the Clippers playing against the Kings in Sacramento. I have a feeling that the Clippers will take that game. I know that the Clippers haven't been doing as well against winning opponents since the All-Star break, but I do think that they are going to try and correct the ship. They got an important victory against the 76ers 2 nights ago, and I think it's a good stepping stone. So yeah. After that, you've got Wednesday, April 3rd. First up, you have the Lakers going to Washington to play against the Wizards. Now, hear me out for 1 second. Lakers, they've been balling. You know, they've won their last 5 straight, and solid as of late, but one of my roommates, he had to move out basically. He is enrolled in this program where you get to travel abroad for 1 quarter and work and study out of Washington, D.C. So my roommate, instead of being in California, is going to be in D.C. And he's a huge Lakers fan, absolute diehard, very obnoxious. But he, I think, is going to be attending this game in Washington, rooting for the Lakers. And I think there would be nothing funnier in the world than him going to a game in person in Washington and watching Jordan Poole absolutely cook the hell out of his beloved Lakers. And to be honest, I feel like it's possible. I think it could happen. The Lakers, they're having a back-to-back. They're going to have to play against the Raptors and then against the Wizards. Maybe something will happen. Maybe it'll be a late game. I don't know. I feel like LeBron is probably going to sit out one of these 2 games. And it just so might happen that the Lakers suffer a loss to the Wizards. And I would die of laughter. So I'm manifesting it. After that, you've got the Blazers traveling to Charlotte to play against the Hornets. I think the Hornets win that game. Then you've got the Pacers traveling to Brooklyn to play against the Nets. I think that the Nets will win that one. Then you've got the Pistons visiting Atlanta to play against the Hawks. I have the Hawks winning. You've got the Thunder traveling to the Celtics to play against the Celtics. The Thunder are playing on a back-to-back. I think that after defeating the 76ers, they're going to be tired out, so the Celtics are going to win it. Then you have the Grizzlies visiting the Bucks. Yeah, this is another one that I just threw in there for pandemonium, basically. The Bucks, I think, are a great team. I think that they've got a lot going for them. I do think that they are going to suffer one more idiotic loss this season. I don't remember if it was the Pistons. I think they took the Pistons into overtime, and that's when they fired their head coach their old ex-head coach. And so, yeah, I feel like they are capable of obviously keeping up with the best of the best, but sometimes they just drop a random game to a really bad team. I think that will be their final one of the season. I think that the Grizzlies will somehow beat Milwaukee on the road, and it'll just be like, huh? So yeah. Then you've got the Magic traveling to New Orleans to play against the Pelicans. The Pelicans winning. Then you've got the Raptors traveling to Minnesota to play against the Timberwolves. I have the T-Wolves winning that game. Interesting. I forgot to circle that. Basically, I'm circling the team that I have winning in a lot of these. I forgot to circle the fact that I had Minnesota winning, which means my count is off. Okay, I'll just keep that in mind. Then you have the Cavs traveling to Phoenix to play against the Suns. I have the Suns winning that matchup. Moving into Thursday, April 4th, then you've got the Philadelphia 76ers traveling to Miami to play against the Heat. Give me the 76ers. Then you have the Kings going to New York to play against the Knicks. I have the Kings winning on the road. Then the Hawks traveling to Dallas to play against the Mavericks. I have the Mavericks winning that game. Then the Warriors facing off against the Rockets in Houston. Now this matchup is pretty big because as of right now, the Rockets are 1 game back from the Warriors for the 10th seed, the final play-in spot. And you've got players like Tari Eason taunting the Warriors, saying like, you better watch out because obviously the Rockets are red hot and they're rumbling, getting ready to overtake the Warriors for that final spot. But I have full faith in the Warriors, you know. You look back to the last 5 years, the Warriors have dominated the Rockets. I don't think, like, Honestly, it could be any other team, and I would be more concerned about it, but the Warriors do have like a minority stake in the Rockets franchise as of late, and as good as they are, I think that they're going to drop that game against the Timberwolves, and they're going to lose some momentum, and the Warriors are going to get business done and beat them. And then after that, you have the Nuggets facing off against the Clippers on the road, and I think that they get that road victory. The Nuggets do. After that, you've got Friday, April 5th. The Blazers travel to Washington to face off against the Wizards. After the Wizards get a nice victory against LA, I think they're going to do what everyone else, the opposite of what makes sense, basically. And they're going to lose to the Portland Trail Blazers, because why not? Then the Thunder are going to travel to Indiana to play against the Pacers, after the Pacers winning that game. Then the Magic are going to travel to Charlotte to play against the Hornets, and have the Magic winning that. Then the Kings visit the Celtics after the Celtics winning. The Heat visit the Rockets after the Rockets winning. The Spurs visit the Pelicans after the Pelicans winning. The Pistons visit the Grizzlies after the Grizzlies winning. The Raptors visit the Bucks after the Bucks winning. The Knicks visit the Bulls, and I have the Knicks winning on the road. The Warriors visit the Mavericks, and I have the Warriors winning on the road. Very interesting choice of me. But the Warriors-Mavs games, I just flipped who would win. Warriors have not been very good at home, so I have the Mavs winning on the road. And then when the Warriors go visit the Mavs, I have the Warriors beating them because the Warriors have been better on the road. And then finally, the last two games, you've got the Timberwolves visiting the Suns. I think that the Timberwolves are able to defeat them. And then you have the Jazz visiting the Clippers. I think the Clippers will take care of business. So next up, you've got Saturday, April 6th. There are only 4 games on this Saturday. You've got the Cavs battling against the Lakers. I think the Lakers win that game at home. Then you've got the Pistons playing the Nets. I think the Nets win their home game. You have the 76ers traveling to Memphis to play against the Grizzlies. I think 76ers pick up that victory. And then you've got the Hawks going to Denver to play against the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets win that game. Next up, you have Sunday, April 7th. The Cavs visit the Clippers. Give me the Clippers. The Rockets visit the Mavericks. I'll take the Mavericks. The Heat visit the Pacers. I'm gonna go with the Heat. The Blazers visit the Celtics. I think clearly the Celtics. The Bulls visit the Magic. I'm going for the upset. I think the Bulls win that game. Then the Wizards visit the Raptors. I'll take the Raptors. The Thunder visit the Hornets. Thunder. The Pelicans visit the Suns. I'm gonna reverse from before. I think that the Suns win at home. Then the Knicks are visiting the Bucks. I think that the Bucks win at home. Then you've got the 76ers traveling to San Antonio to play against the Spurs. Last time Embiid gave Wemby 70, so I'll take the 76ers. Then the Kings visit the Nets. The Kings are a better team. I'll take them. The Jazz visit the Warriors. I think that the Warriors can defeat the Jazz, even though it was pretty close last time. And then the Timberwolves visit the Lakers. I think that the Timberwolves win on the road. Then, Tuesday, April 9th, you've got the Pistons and 76ers. 76ers win. The Pacers visit the Raptors. I'll take the Pacers. The Mavericks visit the Hornets. I'll take the Mavericks. The Heat visit the Hawks. I think that the Hawks can win at home. Then the Celtics visit the Bucks. And I think that the Bucks will win that game at home. Then the Spurs visit the Grizzlies. I think that the Spurs can win that one. The Kings visit the Thunder. I think that the Thunder will defend home court. Then the Wizards visit the Timberwolves. I think the T-Wolves take that. The Magic visit the Rockets. I feel like the Rockets will win that game. Then the Knicks will visit the Bulls. I think that the Knicks will win on the road. This one is funny. The Nuggets. I don't have the Nuggets losing very many games at all, but I have them losing one silly one like I do the Bucks. I think that the Nuggets are going to visit the Jazz and they're going to lose. I don't know if I truly believe it, but Lakers, Bucks, Nuggets, may as well give all of them a silly loss. It doesn't really hurt their standings. Then the Pelicans visit the Blazers. I've got the Pelicans. The Warriors visit the Lakers. I do have the Lakers winning that game. I just think it's going to be tough. The Warriors, realistically, I am a Warriors fan, so I'm already operating with a large amount of copium and bias and optimism. I'll let you know what I've predicted for them in their last 10 games in a little bit, but I don't know if I can really say that they're going to go to LA and beat the Lakers. Then finally you've got the Clippers visiting the Suns. I think that the Clippers will win that game on the road. Alright, just a few more games. Next, you've got the Wednesday, April 10th matchups. The Grizzlies travel to Cleveland to play against the Cavs. I'll take the Cavs. The Raptors face off against the Nets. I'll take the Raptors on the road. Then the Mavericks play against the Miami Heat. I'll take the Heat at home. Then the Hornets travel to Atlanta to play against the Hawks. I'll take the Hawks at home. The Magic play against the Bucks in Milwaukee. I'll take the Bucks at home. The Spurs will play against the Thunder on the road, and this is the Thunder game that I have them losing inexplicably. I think that in the Wemby and Chet matchup, this can be another one that goes to Wemby. They've all been really nice games so far. I feel like that back and forth has been crazy, but there's going to be a lot of attention on this just for Rookie of the Year prospects, and I feel like these guys like to go at each other, so I think that the Spurs are going to shock the Thunder, no pun intended, and get a victory in OKC. Then I have the Timberwolves traveling to Denver to play against the Nuggets, and I have the Nuggets defending home court this time, so they'll win one apiece. Then I have the Suns going to Los Angeles to play against the Clippers, and the Suns winning on the road. So these guys are going to play each other back-to-back nights. I have the road team winning both times. Then Thursday, April 11th, you have the Bulls visiting Detroit to play against the Pistons. Give me the Bulls. Then you have the Knicks visiting Boston to play against the Celtics. I've got the Knicks winning this one. Then the Rockets will travel to Utah to play against the Jazz. I think that the Jazz will win that one. I think they'll continue their one-game win streak and turn it into a two-game win streak. Then you've got the New Orleans Pelicans playing against the Sacramento Kings. I think that the Pelicans will win that game on the road. You've got the Warriors traveling to Portland to play against Blazers. I think that the Warriors can win that one. Then Friday, April 12th, you've got the Bulls visiting the Wizards. Give me the Wizards. The Magic will travel to Philly to play against the 76ers. I'll go with the Magic for that. Then the Pacers will face off against the Cavaliers in Cleveland. I'll take the Cavs for that. Then the Knicks. The Nets will be traveling to New York to play against the Knicks. But I think that the Nets will actually win that game just because the Knicks will be tired after defeating the Celtics. I think that the Celtics will drop that game. I think Celtics drop two more games. It's the Bucks and the Knicks. And after beating the Celtics, I feel like they're going to have the guard down a little bit, and the Nets are going to pull off the Battle of New York. Then I've got the Celtics beating the Hornets at home. I've got the Lakers traveling to Memphis and beating the Grizzlies. I have the Heat defeating the Raptors at home. Then Atlanta travels to Minnesota to play against the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves winning. The Nuggets travel to San Antonio to play against the Spurs. The Nuggets winning. The Bucks travel to OKC to play against the Thunder. I'll have the Thunder win that one. Then the Pistons travel to Dallas to play against the Mavericks. I think the Mavs win. The Rockets travel to Portland to play against the Trailblazers. I think the Rockets take that one. The Pelicans will travel to Golden State to play against the Warriors. I think that the Warriors will win that one, just because the Pelicans will be on a back-to-back as well. And then the Jazz will travel to Los Angeles to play against the Clippers. I've got the Clippers winning. And then Phoenix will travel to Sacramento to play against the Kings. I think that the Kings will defend their home court and light the beam. And finally, we have made it to the last game of the regular season. It will be the Sunday, April 14th games. You've got the Atlanta Hawks visiting the Indiana Pacers. I think that the Hawks win that one on the road. Then you have the Washington Wizards traveling to Boston to play against the Celtics. Give me the Celtics. Then the Toronto Raptors go to Miami to play against the Heat. I've got the Heat winning that. The Bulls will travel to New York to play against the Knicks. I think the Knicks win. The Hornets will travel to Cleveland to play against the Cavs. I'll take the Cavs. Milwaukee will travel to Orlando to play against the Bucks. To play against the Magic, but I've got the Bucks winning. Then the Nets will travel to Philly to play against the 76ers. I have the 76ers winning that game. The Nuggets will travel to Memphis to play against the Grizzlies. I've got the Nuggets. The Portland Trailblazers will go to Sacramento to play against the Kings. I've got the Kings. The Mavericks will face off against the Thunder in OKC. And I've got the Thunder defending home court. The Pistons will travel to San Antonio to play against the Spurs. What a way to end the season, you know. I've got the Spurs winning that game at home. Then the Suns will travel to Minnesota to play against the Timberwolves. And I think that they can win that one. They'll pull off a last-second upset, stun the T-Wolves. And then the Rockets will travel to Los Angeles to play against the Clippers. I think that the Clippers will manage to win that game. The Lakers will visit New Orleans to play against the Pelicans. I have the Pelicans winning that game at home. And finally, the Jazz visiting the Warriors. I have the Warriors winning at home. So, after all of these games, you might be wondering, what is the difference, or what have I just projected for all of these teams? So, I've written it down. This is basically what I think the record will be for each team in the remaining games that they play. So, in the Eastern Conference, I have the Celtics going 7-3 in their next 10 games, the Bucks going 7-3, the Knicks going 6-4, the Cavs only have 9 games left, and I have them going 5-4. I've got the Magic going 5-5 in their last 10. The Pacers only have 8 games left, and I have the Pacers going 3-5 in their final 8. This is because the Pacers are very good on offense, but they're horrible on defense. And Halliburton, though he has been a little bit better, he had that horrible shooting slump, and I don't know if he's fully back. So I don't really trust the Pacers at the moment. Then I have the Heat going 6-4 in their last 10. I've got the 76ers going 6-3 in their last 9. I've got the Bulls going 4-5 in their last 9. The Hawks going 5-5 in their last 10. The Nets going 3-6 in their last 10. Their last 9. The Raptors going 2-7 in their last 9. The Hornets going 1-9 in their last 10. The Wizards going 4-5 in their last 9. Wizards enthusiast here. Then the Pistons going 1-8 in their last 9. So, what does that bring us to? That means let me go through the other teams in the Western. So, for the Nuggets, I have the Nuggets going 7-2 in their last 9. I've got the Timberwolves going 8-2 in their last 10. I have the Thunder going 6-4 in their last 10. The Clippers going 7-3 in their last 10. The Pelicans going 7-3 in their last 10. The Mavericks going 6-4 in their last 10. The Suns going 4-5 in their last 10. As I mentioned, they have a very difficult matchup, very difficult schedule ahead. So I think it's not even that I don't trust them. I just think it's like insanely tough. They're gonna drop a lot of games, I feel like. Then I have the Kings going 5-5 in their last 10. The Lakers going 6-3 in their last 10. The Warriors going 8-2 in their last 10. The Rockets going 5-5 in their last 10. The Jazz going 2-7 in their last 10. The Grizzlies going 2-7 in their last 10. The Trailblazers going 1-8 in their last 10. And the Spurs going 3-6 in their last 10. So over the course of the next few weeks, the teams that I think will perform the worst, I think, are the Hornets, the Pistons, and the Trailblazers. I have them winning 1 game apiece. And the teams that I think will be doing the best are the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, and the Warriors. Full bias on display, by the way. I am a delusional Warriors fan. The best thing about it is, even with all of this delusion, doesn't change very much. These are the updated records after my projections. You've got the Celtics finishing the season at 64-18. The Bucks in second at 54-29. The Knicks in third at 50-32. The Cavs in fourth at 49-33. The Magic in fifth at 47-35. The Heat in sixth place at 45-37. The 76ers in seventh place at the exact same record of 45-37. The Pacers in eighth place with a record of 44-38. The Bulls in ninth place at a record of 39-43. And the Hawks at 10th place with a record of 38-44. So that is my final standings for the play-in and playoff bracket. This would have the 76ers, Pacers, Bulls, and Hawks competing for play-in spots. They would all play in the play-in tournament and then compete for the last 2 playoff spots. And then in the West, we've got the Nuggets finishing at 58-24. The Timberwolves finishing at 58-24. Now, because earlier when I counted, I missed one of the Timberwolves' victories, I did not account for them finishing at the same record, but if they both finish at the same record, I do not know who owns the tiebreaker. I researched it for all the other things, but I didn't realize that this would end in a tie because I miscounted, apparently. So, for the sake of this argument, because I have it down, let's say that Denver owns the tiebreaker. So you would have the Denver Nuggets in first place at a record of 58-24. The Timberwolves in second place at the same record. Then the Thunder in third place at a record of 56-26. The Clippers in fourth place with a record of 52-30. The Pelicans in fifth place with a record of 51-31. Then this is where things get interesting. You have the Mavericks in sixth place at 49-33. And then I have the Suns, Kings, and Lakers all finishing at the exact same record of 47-35. And finally, I have the Warriors finishing in 10th with a record of 46-36. So even with all of my delusion and fanatics for the Warriors and having them finish going on an 8-2 run, they're still dead last. Yes, they keep their spot away from the Rockets, who will finish at a 42-40 record and still be positive. But I don't really see a reality where the Warriors climb out of this 10 seed. Unfortunate as that may be. And I'm operating on such intense amounts of copium. But what this would entail is you have 3 teams at all the exact same record. So tiebreakers are needed. And then you have the Warriors at 10th. So I took a look at the season records amongst one another, and I saw that the Lakers are 3-2 against the Suns this season. I believe that the Suns and the Kings are tied in their season record. They're 2-2, but now I don't know if this is the tie-breaking margin or not, but the strength of victory from the Kings is slightly higher, meaning that in the games that the Kings won, it was by a larger margin of victory. They won scoring more points than the Suns, did in their victories. Like, I think the Suns won by 2 points in one game and 5 points in one game, whereas the Kings won by like 15 points and 4 points. So they end up having more points in their favor. So I think based on that, the Kings would have the tiebreaker over the Suns. And then, yeah, the Kings have swept the Lakers in the season series. So I think the way that would shake out is the Kings would be the 7 seed, the Lakers would be the 8 seed, the Suns would be the 9 seed, and the Warriors would be the 10 seed. So this means that we would get, for our play-in tournament, hypothetically, a game between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Indiana Pacers, which could be pretty fun. It's hard to say for certain who wins that game, but I think that the Hawks and Bulls are pretty lousy. Whoever wins between those two, I don't think that they're going to beat the Pacers or the 76ers. So I feel like the 76ers and Pacers are the teams to get in. Whereas on the West, those 4 teams, that is a crazy lineup. Basically, you're going to have the Kings and the Lakers face off, and then the Suns and the Warriors face off. The Kings and the Lakers, I have to go Kings because the Kings have swept them. AD has never beat Sabonis in his career, so I say that the Kings stay at 7, they beat the Lakers. So then the Lakers will have to play the winner of the Suns and Warriors game. That game could honestly go either way. Based on the season record, it does look more likely that it goes towards the Suns, unfortunate as that is. And then between the Suns and the Lakers, I feel like it could go either way. But just based on what we have so far, the Lakers are ahead in the season standings. So you could say Lakers. I don't think it's all that impossible for the Warriors to beat the Suns, but for the Warriors to beat the Suns and the Lakers back-to-back on the road to make, I mean, to be honest, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all because the East is going to be very interesting because you either end up with 76ers, Celtics, and Pacers, Bucks in your first round of playoffs, or you have Celtics, Pacers, and 76ers, Bucks. I feel like both of those are very enticing 1-8 and 2-7 matchups. Whereas it does not matter if the Warriors or the Lakers make it as the 8th seed to the playoffs. If the Nuggets are the 1 seed, both teams are getting clapped. It is done deal. Neither team is beating the Nuggets. The Suns, they just beat the Nuggets very recently. The Kings, I have no idea what the Kings' shot are at beating the Nuggets, to be honest. The Timberwolves, I do think, are the strongest and most likely team to take down the Nuggets, in my opinion. In an alternate reality where I get to play out my most wild delusions, I ideally want the Thunder to finish as the 1 seed and the Warriors last spot of the playoffs. I think between the Thunder, the Timberwolves, and the Nuggets, the Warriors have the best chance against the Thunder. Because 2 other games went to overtime. I think the Warriors lost both games, but it was like they won one game and they had 2 very, very close games. So, yeah, they don't have any shot against the Nuggets. The Timberwolves also swept them in the season series, at least with Thunder. They have some fighting chance, and the Thunder are a younger team. But that is basically all. Thank you for indulging me in my delusions. Let me know what you think about these predictions. If you think I have some teams vastly underperforming or completely overperforming, I can think of one where that might be the case. But for the most part, I don't think that these are too bad of predictions. I guess the Pacers could be jarring, and maybe the Suns, but the Pacers I don't trust, and the Suns I think just have a really hard schedule, so that's why I have them not doing so well in this final stretch. And everything else, yeah, I'll stick by it. I feel like the Wizards beating the Lakers, the Grizzlies beating the Bucks, and the Spurs beating the Thunder, they'll all happen, and I look forward to seeing those occur. But yeah, that's what I think will happen. I'll make another video when this is all said and done to actually analyze the play-in tournament, who's going to play in it, who I think is going to win it, all of that. Yeah, and if you want to hear a little bit about me, these last couple weeks, it has been quite a minute since I made any content. That was just because, as I mentioned, I had finals that I needed to take care of. I had week 10, a couple finals, then I had my finals week, actual finals, and then this past week was not only spring break, but I got to celebrate my birthday with my family, so I was not at home. We were traveling, and yeah, I just knew that there was not going to be enough privacy or downtime to do something like this, so I figured, why be dishonest with myself and all of you? So that's why I said I probably can't make anything until April. Hopefully I can get this out and I'll be able to get you something slightly before April. But yeah, the new quarter starts on Monday. I'll be traveling back on Sunday, so I should be able to record more frequently. I feel like I say that every quarter, but I am usually more free towards the beginning of the quarter until midterms and things like that hit. So for like the first 5 weeks, it should be a solid flow of content. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys. So thanks for watching. If you enjoy content like this, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. I'll try my best to put out more as the week goes on, but we'll see.